Yeah, hey, we've got great weather to vote tomorrow. We're going to keep this beautiful weather going, I think, for at least this afternoon and most of our election day. So good news there. Now, we take a look at the forecast and we take a look. There's nothing really to slow you down. All right. It's what I call a no excuse forecast. We'll get out there and do our American civic duty out there. In fact, we're waking up tomorrow morning again with a nice, bright, glorious start like we saw this morning, 73 degrees. And then as we take a look at the afternoon, it's going to be a little bit on the warm side. All right. Warm, humid, 88 degrees. But the key is this, just some more fair weather cumulus clouds and then a few more clouds toward evening about 7 o'clock, maybe squeezing out a brief isolated shower for our inland counties, maybe from Polk County, Lakeland off to the east would be the best chance of that. So great voting weather. But the latest on the tropics, what does that mean? All right, let's take a look. We'll go to the weather wall here, and we're okay the next couple of days. But by Wednesday, keeping an eye to the sky, we take a look at our visitTampaBay.com time lapse this morning. It's worth another look. We had that earlier glorious sunrise this morning at about 6:45, and it doesn't get much better than this. This has been really the weather pattern for almost the last 4 weeks. Largo going on 25 straight days without one single drop of rain. Now, it's eventually going to change in this forecast, but the next 2 days, tough to find much rain. Very low rain chances today at 10%, mostly sunny, very warm, 88. We should be at about 81 for this time of year, so still above average. And then for our voting day, hot, humid, had to put in a light shower in there, evening shower. I think the best chance of that shower would be for areas like Bradenton, Sarasota, Manatee counties over toward Highlands County. But again, even there, nothing to really slow you down. So our weather team's up that percentage to 40%. All eyes on the tropics. Okay, so we look at Tropical Depression 18, and it has been upgraded over the last couple of hours. Still far from home, 915 miles from Tampa at this point. And even though you see the arrow pointing to Tampa, the latest maps and models are still agreeing this is not heading our way. This is a different story. It's likely to stay south and west of us, but at the same time, it's going to start to intensify. In fact, as time we head into this evening and overnight tonight, you see the deep oceanic heat content really feeding into the system. And those storms are really going to start firing around that center of low pressure. So this could likely become a tropical storm. Already, hurricane warnings for the Cayman Islands. We've got the hurricane watches for the tip of Cuba. And notice the strengthening. Okay, there's the evening winds up to 40 miles per hour, which would give it tropical storm status and then a hurricane status as we head into late Tuesday night and Wednesday near Cuba. And then when it emerges into the Gulf of Mexico as a Category 1, National Hurricane Center saying there's a lower confidence on the actual track. It's a very hostile environment, so sometimes this can rip these things apart, change that track a bit. So we're going to be watching that carefully, but all the models are agreeing still that the southwestern movement away, okay, south and southwest of Tampa away from us as it moves off to the northwest. We take a look at our hurricane names. If it is named, it would be the 17th named storm, which would be Rafael. Our big three right now still looking like, yeah, that tropical storm will develop later today and tonight. We're talking about at least 350 miles west of Tampa on Thursday, moving away from Florida and weakening, and it would bring us some rain showers, east-southeast winds of 15 to 30 miles per hour and a very low risk of any flooding or severe weather at this point. Let's look at Futurecast. This is all the new data our weather team's been looking at very closely. And as we take a look at the next couple days this afternoon, voting day, no problem. But notice we're going to start to see an increase in the cloud canopy as we head into late Tuesday evening. And as that storm emerges into the Gulf of Mexico, we're going to start to see increasing tropical moisture. I think our first big bands of rain would come in, it looks like Wednesday afternoon, right here toward Hillsborough, Pinellas County. Some more bands coming in Wednesday night into Thursday morning. So that's when we'd see some of the bigger impacts. But at this point in our 7-day forecast, you see we do have that weather impact alert, but on the lower side of those impacts with this system based on the information right now. Next couple of days looking good. Highest rain chances Wednesday into Thursday. Not looking for any problems on the rivers this time around or flooding at this point. And then by Friday, as it continues to move away and weaken in the Gulf of Mexico, we should start to dry out.
All right.